Who wants to go third this week? I do. I want to go third. This is it, though, right? There's a lot of hair riding on whether or not Michael Carrick and Manchester United can make it five in a row tomorrow. Seriously, though, what was that kid thinking? I don't know if I would ever be able to not cut my hair that long. And really, there's not really any upside to it. That's whatever. It is what it is. That's besides the point. But anyway, Manchester United traveled to London to take on who really are, quite frankly, a resurgent West Ham side. They're somehow managing to claw their way out of the bottom three. How about we make that climb just a little bit harder, right? How do we do that? Well, we're going to take a look at that today in our match preview. We are going to look at tactics, team news, starting 11, score prediction, all that, because this is what we do. This is United versus everybody. I am your host, Sean. Welcome back. If this is your first time, great to have you here. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe and let us know where you're from, you guys. We are going to get stuck in real quick, guys. I want to know your thoughts, so dive right in. Let's do it. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone's Monday? How's everyone's weekend? Did anybody watch the Super Bowl last night? I did. It's kind of boring, quite frankly. I mean, I haven't watched the NFL in a long time, probably since streaming services came around that allowed me to watch more Premier League and other European football. I kind of moved away from the NFL a little bit. The games are late, they're long, a lot of commercials. My ADD kicks in. I can't handle that. But yeah, did you watch Super Bowl last night? Anybody plan that out? I mean, I don't know how the Pats got to the Super Bowl with their offensive line looking that bad, although I was told that it's just a matter of the Seahawks defense just being that good, but who knows? But yeah, I mean, five field goals is crazy. I mean, that was enough to win the match or win the game alone. So it is what it is. But let us know if you watched the Super Bowl. Let us know if you predicted that. What's going on? And even the commercials aren't as good anymore. That's like what the neutrals watch it for, right? They just weren't really any good. A lot of us were maybe banking on maybe a Marvel trailer or something. We didn't get anything. We got nothing, man. Although I heard it costs like 10 mil for a 30-second spot now for the Super Bowl. Does Marvel really need to spend 10 mil on advertising? People pretty much know who they are, right? So let's see who's in the chat, though, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe for me, please. Danny B in the house. Big up, Danny. Danny, are you a Pats fan? I know you from Ireland, live in New England now. I grew up a Pats fan. I think just representing Tom Brady, obviously U of M, go blue. But yeah, it was pretty rough. Obviously, I honestly couldn't name you a single NFL player these days. It's been that long since I've really followed the NFL. But Michael's in the house. Big up. Super Bowl was awful. Yeah, the Super Bowl was pretty boring. It just felt like just field goal after field goal after field goal for a hot second. Maybe sign that guy up to let him play keeper or something. Let him just do long ball. Danny says, yeah, the Pats were terrible. Yeah. Honestly, their offensive line did not give what's his face any help. They just when he was able to get a little breathing room, when he was able to do something, he was fine, and he even had some good pocket awareness, good presence. But then like they just opened up, man. Like it was ridiculous to watch. Danny says, was a Brady fan, didn't watch since he retired. Yeah, I mean Tom Brady's the GOAT. Let's be honest. He is the GOAT. Yeah, obviously U of M guy. And obviously came in for Drew Bledsoe when he got injured, and the rest is history. I mean, the guy is an absolute machine. I mean, he's still playing when he was mid to late 40s. Like that's insane. But yes, that was a Super Bowl. Let us know if you guys predicted that. Any Seahawks fans out there? Have you guys seen this thing as we talk about some rivalries? So we've got a Big Six mini table. I saw this pop up recently as well. We topped the Big Six mini table, which again, it used to be the top four, then it became the Big Six, and now we're looking at the Big Six mini table. Usually United are not anywhere near the top of this little mini table that we look at. Now we've still got a couple matches to go, right? We've got to play Liverpool again. We got to play Chelsea again. But we're topping it, right? And we've beaten our top six rivals 5 times. We've only lost twice. Scored 13 goals. So we've scored the most. We've also allowed the second most, right? But we've got the best GD, scored the most points against our Big Six rivals this season so far. So we still got to go and play Liverpool again and Chelsea again. But it's a pretty good it's a pretty good little mid table. It's nice to see things turning around, right? I mean, Michael Carrick himself has contributed to that pretty well. So we'll see how he does. I mean, he literally has won 3 out of these games. That's awesome. Michael says, I watched the alternative halftime show. I didn't know there were apparently there's 2 halftime shows now for the Super Bowl. Don't understand how that works either. Super Bowls have changed a lot since I was a kid, man. This is insane. Danny says Spurs need to be dropped from the big. Yeah, this whole Big Six thing, it's just Pochettino in some ways ruined it, but he also was maybe the best thing for Spurs. He really turned them into these kind of Big Six, kind of like just happy to be here at the big kids table kind of clubs, hasn't he? Newcastle, bless them, they try, they really do try, but we all know what they're about. Johnny Hill's in the house. Big up, Johnny says Amber watching United games bewildered at the fact that he was wrong about this whole Kobe and Bruno can't play together. I mean, I can see where Amorim's coming from, right? We can all kind of see where he's coming from, simply because it's a difference of systems. If Amorim had played a 4-2-3-1, then yeah, it's a different conversation. But in Amorim's system, there's literally only 2 midfielders, so I can see where he's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it. I would have still preferred maybe to stick Bruno up in one of those advanced roles, but it is what it is. But no, welcome back, Johnny. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Let us know if you watched the Super Bowl and all. Danny says Villa should already have replaced them. They've got more European pedigree, really, than like an Arsenal. Honestly, let's be honest with you. Um, Villa, I think, to me, are a bigger, better club than Spurs. But big up Casper back in the house. Looking forward to watching United. Yep, big match tomorrow. Might be linking up with Dylan tomorrow to go watch that at a pub. We'll see. See what the weather does. It's supposed to get warmer this week, but we've literally got like a foot of snow. It's been then snowing nonstop, and it's been well below freezing for like a month, so it's pretty rough. But yeah, United top in the Big Six mini table. We still got a couple matches to go, but so far so good. And Michael Carrick contributing heavily to that. Let's talk some transfer news, because I know a lot of people are making a big deal about this little report from Mike McGrath that apparently United have Sandro Tonali on our short list as for Casemiro replacements. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on that. What do you? I mean, it's 2 separate conversations, right? There's a what are your thoughts on Tonali as a player? Would you take him? That's a separate conversation. The other conversation is, do you think there's any legs? This rumor has any legs? I don't personally think it has any legs. I do think that he's a midfielder that we like. Anybody with a brain would have Sandro Tonali on their list. I mean, I like Tonali. I liked him when he was still at Brescia before he went to AC Milan. This kid was an absolute baller. I was signing him in my FIFA career mode back then, but I personally don't think there's anything in this. But if I thought for there 1 second there was a possibility this can happen, then yeah, I'm going for Sandro Tonali all day because he's that good. It just, to me, it kind of feels like United's name getting thrown into the mix, along with the usual suspects. You've seen City, you've seen Juve, all this stuff linked in there. And the more I think about it, I almost think that maybe this is just agent talk, agent putting some feelers out there, because Newcastle obviously are struggling. Tonali probably wants to play in Europe. Newcastle are not getting that this year unless they somehow manage to win a European trophy, which is not going to happen. So this to me kind of seems like either obviously journo talk or agent talk here. But his contract, he's still contracted in Newcastle for like another 4 years. 100 million is the price I'm seeing. That's a bit steep too, but I'm not paying for Newcastle to waste money on Anthony Elanga and Visa as well. But what are your guys' thoughts on Sandro Tonali? Let me put this small here. Let me get involved in the chat, but let me know your channel here, or your opinions here. Big up, Rich is in the house. Welcome, Rich. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Johnny says, I always celebrate that we sacked Amorim. To be honest, so close to Manu leaving. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is now, right? I mean, Manu's obviously just excelling. He's shown some levels to his game that I don't think a lot of us even thought that he had. You know, the physicality, the distance covered against Arsenal and City, for instance, the passing range that we've seen recently. It's like, give me more of this. This Manu hit level 16, learned quick attack, and now he's on his way to level 36. Like, that's where we're at right now. Legends will understand that reference. But Danny says, I love Tonali, but nothing over 60. And he's probably worth, you're probably going to end up having, I mean, if Anderson's going to be going for like 75, 85 million, which I don't think he will, but that's like 100 million, though. I'm not paying 100 million for that, but he'll probably go back to like Juve or something. Johnny says, Mike McGrath was the first guy to break the whole Mbumo news stuff, so I can see it. We'll see. Well, so far the rumor is just that he's on the list, which again basically just means United have him on a list along with all the other names that we've looked at. So we'll see what happens. I do like Tonali a lot. Like I said, I've watched him since he was a teenager. I thought he was excellent even then. He was just a force in Brescia's midfield. Obviously, the whole gambling stuff, not good, but we'll see. Danny says 70 even, but Anderson, yeah, I'm still going Anderson. I think Anderson would be a better complement to Kavi Menu in that midfield pivot. Tonali has really turned into more of a like a box to box kind of box crashing eight. He reminds me a lot of McTominay in the way that he does play. I think obviously McTominay with a better passing range, but I do think that I would like someone like Anderson as well. Michael's not a fan. No worries there. Everybody's entitled to their thoughts and perspective. That's the beauty of the world we live in. Yeah, Casper, I'm sure everybody's talking about it. It was the big news that came up yesterday. So, but obviously I wasn't here yesterday. So we are here talking about it today. Johnny says, not gonna lie, I'd pay the 100 million just to make Newcastle fans whine about the red cartel. I mean, again, they can't complain about it. They well overpaid for Ilanga. Honestly, Visa, I mean, way overpaid for Visa as well. Not my problem. It's kind of like the whole João Felix situation. Like when Atletico paid 100 million for João Felix to bring him from Benfica, and then they were demanding 100. Like, I'm not paying for the fact that you probably paid twice as much as João Felix was worth when he was a teenager. Like, I'm not paying for that. It's not my problem. That's your guys' problem. Rich says Denali's good. You never know. People thought we wouldn't sign Mbeumo or Cunha. Yeah, you never know. You do never know. It's always, to me, I look at the way that the rumors are phrased, and so when I see things like, oh, United have him on their short list, and then they also include other clubs, and then they, when it's about United, they include all the other midfielders. It just, to me, it just sounds like the same kind of regurgitation. Again, when listing with all these other clubs, to me, that's why I kind of feel like this is agent talk. And then I look at context, zoom out the lens. Newcastle are struggling. Tonali obviously wants to play in Europe. I mean, I think most players will. He's a high-profile player. I wouldn't be surprised to see one or maybe even both of him and Bruno Guimaraes leave this summer personally, but I'm not paying 100 million. No one's paying 100 million. That's embarrassing. But like we say, Rich, you never know. You never know. I do like Tonali a lot, though. But moving on, we have been linked to a young player who was on my list. Now I'm going to move him up the list. Now he won't be in the next scouting report special. I got that one lined up, but he will be in the one next to that. But this is coming from Graham Bailey. So again, I always like to let you know where it's coming from. And apparently United have sent scouts to watch FC Nordjylland's star Caleb Urankie, who is wanted by Brighton as well, apparently as a Carlos Baleba successor, who has been dubbed the next Michael Essien. For those of you of a certain vintage, you will remember Michael Essien. So, like I said, this guy he's on my list, so I've already done a little bit of homework on him. 20-year-old, he's Ghanaian midfielder, apparently. He's watched by scouts. We had scouts in attendance to watch him recently, along with scouts from Arsenal, along with scouts from Chelsea. Galatasaray reportedly wanted to sign him in January. I've read reports that Nordjylland have put a £30 million price tag on him. I've also seen reports that they rejected a £15 million bid as well. He just signed a new contract. He's kind of like when Yashari got to Club Brugge. They saw how good he was. They saw how interested other clubs were. They signed him to a new contract right away. It's the same situation with this kid. So he's got a contract for like the next 4 years. Man of the match recently against Sonderjysk with a goal and an assist. 2 goals, 5 assists in the league this season from midfield alone for a 20-year-old. Very, very good. Very good midfielder. Wins the ball a lot high up the pitch. Very good pressing numbers. His passing numbers are stellar. If you look at his long balls, his overall pass completion and stuff, very, very good as well. I'd still rather get someone like Anderson, but then maybe bring this kid in, as a young kind of backup. I do think we need 2 players, maybe 3, right? Someone maybe to back up Kobe, and then also 2 to kind of replace Ugarte and Casemiro. This kid could be the Ugarte replacement. I have another one on my list, though. We'll do that when Dylan and I do our £200 million rebuild video. But we need to be going and finding these guys. We need to be going and finding the Caicedos, the Balevas, whatever of the world before they go to the Brightons and they go to the Brentfords and we have to pay 85 to 100 million for them. That's what we should be doing. That's why we had Ralph Ragnick in when we had him in, and then we screwed that one up, didn't we? But Yeah, obviously, I've been watching this kid for a little while. I really like him. You guys know we've scouted a couple players from the Danish league in the past as well. Watch other leagues, guys. Watch the Belgian league. Watch the Eredivisie. Watch Brazil. Watch Argentina. Watch Norwegian league. There's some good players out there. Let's see. Casper's taking it game by game at the moment, not get carried away. It's hard not to get carried away, man. It's hard not to get excited. You gotta find that balance between getting excited, allowing yourself to be happy and enjoy the moment, but also not kind of just thinking, yeah, 21's coming. Although 21's coming, let's be honest. Johnny says they're gonna be soiling their boxes when they see the new rules replacing PSR for next season. That will benefit. Yeah, we did talk about that a couple months back when that came out, the new SSR, right? 85% of your total revenue, it can now be allotted towards transfers and whatnot, as whereas before it was you could lose a certain amount over a 3-year period. So yes, a lot of teams, a lot of fans not happy. They think it favors the big clubs, but hey, we've gotten to where we are. We can do what we want. So yeah, go check him out, Danny. Really good young midfielder. I think, obviously, when I do the scouting reports now, I include the FC 26 overalls and the potential. I think his potential is like 82. I can't remember what his overall is off the top of my head, though. But yeah, Michael, they've got really good recruitment. The problem, though, when you are a selling club like that, when you're, your PSV, your Brentfords, your Brightons, your Dortmunds, you have to get the recruitment spot on, because all it takes is one poor signing or even one injury necessarily, and it's your whole model falls apart. And so you really leans heavily on its recruitment structure, the analysts involved, the scouts, all the directors of football, all of that. You really got to have a good team in place. I don't mind poaching those kind of staff members from these clubs, because I do think that could be a big help as well. Then he likes Sangare. Yep, we scouted Sangare a couple times. I did include Sangare in my Casemiro replacement video. You guys, there's a link to that in the description when you're done here. I looked at a lot of different players who I think could come in and replace Casemiro. Go check that one out. Not right now. That would be rude. Wait till we're done, but you can go check that out. Let's see. Casper doesn't need to check him out. Caleb, yeah. Rose, welcome. I do prefer Wharton. This kid, for me, or sorry, not Wharton. I prefer Anderson. You like Wharton. I like Wharton as well. For me, it's a bit of a toss-up. I can almost toss a coin right now and go either way, Wharton. And now I watched Crystal Palace play yesterday. Wharton wasn't getting himself as involved as I would have liked. Like, Daichi Kamada came on and was immediately getting involved. Wharton he was kind of just drifting in and out of the match, which is not to say he's bad. I need to see in those moments, I need him to go and grab the game and kind of get himself involved and not wait for the game to come to him, if that makes sense. So there's a little thing. That's just what I noticed yesterday. I'm not saying that's overall, just what I saw yesterday. But like I said, Kamada came on and immediately got involved. But everybody's got their own style. I like Wharton a lot. He is very pass heavy. Anderson, I think, is a little bit more physical. Johnny says, what do you think about Fernandes at West Ham? We did a scouting report on Fernandes, not a scouting report. So last season I did a video where I took 2 players from each of the 3 relegated sides that I would take at United. And Mateus Fernandes was one of my players when he was at Southampton. That was one of the ones I had looked at. So I do like him a lot. It's hard to pin down where his position is in this West Ham side, because he'll play a deeper role, but it is more of the Paquetá, where he's able to, like a Cobby, like he's able to get forward a little bit. So he could play a 10. I don't see him as cultured 10 as like Bruno is, or like an Odegaard, like that cultured kind of vision and stuff. But I do see him as a different type of 10. I honestly see him as more as an 8. So but the problem is, would he be redundant? Because we already have Cobby. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. Big up, Rob. Good to see you, man. Welcome back, bud. Hope everyone's doing well. If you watched Super Bowl last night, let us know what you thought. We already ranted about that for a little bit, because that was just a shit show of a Super Bowl. But yeah, United apparently sending scouts to watch this young Ghanaian midfielder who is on 2 goals, 5 assists in the Danish league this year. And he's an absolute baller right now. He's a very good midfielder. So might do a little more deeper scouting report on him in a future video. And not this coming scouting report, but the next one that's rolling around. You guys know I've got those stacked up like video after video. Had I remembered, I remember we have like 11 days between tomorrow and the next match. So we're going to have to spread this out a little bit. So look out for that scouting report probably early next week. Dylan and I will do a big kickabout episode next week as well. So lots of stuff. You guys know I like to fill that time, when you don't have a lot of matches. International breaks too tends to get like that as well. Cash says, I think we did well signing Mbumo. Loved his goal. Oh, yeah. Mbumo was a good signing. Was he on 9 goals now in the league? Very, very, very good signing. So I'm happy with that. I think we all are pretty happy with that. So let's dive into this match, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button for me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I like to see 777 something odd people watching. Let's see if we can get those like buttons going, guys. And get involved in that poll as well. Because obviously I'm going to go through and get your score predictions. We're going to do starting 11s, all that stuff. But let's look at how we stack up against West Ham over the last couple of years, because head-to-head, it's not gone in our favor in recent memory, because they did do the league double over us last season. I'm not okay with that at all. And it was actually this exact fixture that saw Eric Ten Hag basically get sacked as well, with Dallo missing that late sitter, if you guys remember that. I know we probably all tried to block it out, but again, it's relevant, so we got to bring it up. And honestly, we haven't won here at this ground since 2021, so it's not a great side. It's like from one bogey side to another, it seems like. And I hate this fixture too. If you guys play any, all my FC26 players out there, I hate this fixture in career mode because of the stupid bubbles that take up the screen for like 3 minutes straight. I can't stand it. I keep reminding myself, I need to go in and figure out if I can turn that off, but I cannot stand it. But earlier this season, we drew 1-1 with them. It was a late goal from Magasa that salvaged the point for West Ham in that one. I think it was like 83rd minute goal. But they are on a major push right now to avoid relegation. They are sort of making a go of it too. They're in 8th, or 18th, sorry. But put a few wins together, and it's pulled them within 3 points of 17th place Forest right now. I told you guys, Forest could get relegated, and Elliot Anderson could be super cheap. Probably still looking at like 60, 65. But again, that's a different. I remember when Jack Grealish, there was that whole will Villa get relegated or not? Yeah, they didn't, and then City just decided to pay 100 million for him. Yeah, that kind of situation. But as they climb that ladder, though, out of relegation, I want to be the ones waiting for them to reach the top so we can just push them back down with our boot and say, get back down there where you belong, guys. We're in 4th right now. We've got 44 points. Within touching distance of 3rd, though, as we sit just 3 points off Villa. We have more points already this season with 13 games left to go than we did all of last season. So that has been tremendous. Going, 12 straight points in a row is going to be a big help. 1 point above Chelsea, 5 points above the Scousers of that hilarity that happened yesterday. Yeah, you guys thought I was going to make it too long without having a laugh at Liverpool moment? Come on, who are you talking to? But it is 4 on the bounce for Carrick. We haven't actually lost a league game since Villa, since before Boxing Day. So we've got a couple of draws, but we haven't lost since before Boxing Day. I'm going to say Dylan and I are going to take credit for that turnaround in league form, by the way, because we were there starting on Boxing Day. Big win against Newcastle. Haven't lost since in the league, so I'm taking credit for that one. Since then, it has been 5 wins and 3 draws, and then just the FA Cup loss to Brighton sprinkled in there as well. Let's see what you guys are doing here. Big up. Yeah, I do appreciate the likes, Danny. Let's see how many likes. I believe in you guys. You guys are legends. How many likes can we get? Rob says, Mbumo on the train. Yeah, I saw that. We're going to talk a little bit about team news as well. We're getting there. You guys are talking about fantasy. Rob says West Ham have a few injuries, according to Nuno. Yeah, we're going to see what happens. They've got suspensions as well. Casper says, Fernandes for West looks another decent player. He's watching Steamer YouTube channel. Yeah, he's pretty good. I like him a lot. They've got a couple players that I would take. No spoiler alerts for the 200 million rebuild. And no, not Jared Bowen. It's another player. So Doof, yeah, I like Doof a lot. It's just a question of where you think Dorgu will play. So as far as what you can expect to see from West Ham, we sort of know what to expect, right? Counterattacking football, quick transitions. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to park the bus. Nuno he has them playing similar to the way he had them playing at Forest. They're going to press and press a little more in the mid area, higher up the pitch. They want to win that ball back quickly, and they want to just transition quickly. Not park the bus is counterattack, but not every counterattack is park the bus, if that makes sense. They just have hopes of winning the ball back in those more advanced positions, and then when they do, it's all hands on. Everyone's rushing forward. We're going to get that ball forward as fast as we can. That's how they scored the opener against Burnley not too long ago. Against Chelsea, they were able to find pockets as well in the half spaces. Chelsea's fullbacks pushed wide to engage West Ham's wide attackers when they put the attack forward, which left a lot of space in between defenders and whatnot. And that's what West Ham exploits. We need to be careful of that. Numbers, overloads in wide areas is a nightmare to defend because it pulls your people wide, pulls your team wide, creates a lot of space. It's really annoying. And that's exactly what West Ham are going to exploit. Suchek also did a very good job of man marking Enzo Fernandez until about that second half of that Chelsea game as well. I do trust our ability to move the ball under pressure. Like we saw it against City, we saw it against Spurs, a lot of triangles, a lot of quick movement to escape that pressure. We just saw it again. We just saw it recently against Spurs. Well, and again, obviously we had Rayon Cherki on toast in that one against City in the derby as well. But we've seen that. A lot of that has to do with the inspiration that Michael Carrick takes from Xavi's Barcelona side. A lot of quick passes, a lot of movement into space, exploiting the space, using the space wisely. Carrick is a big fan of that sort of system. West Ham don't keep clean sheets. The Burnley result recently was their first clean sheet since August. So I think if we can score first, I think it could play into our hands as it would force them to kind of get out of their comfort zone, take a few more risks as well. They've kept just 2 clean sheets all season, which is the second worst in the league. They are near bottom for goals scored right now, bottom for goals conceded. I think they're 19th for average possession, shots on target, expected goals, et cetera, et cetera. Honestly, their best numbers are the interceptions and the clearances. So again, they're trying to cut off the passing lanes, trying to win that ball back high up the pitch, and they're trying to clear their box so they can launch those transitions very quickly. We can't let them get back into their numbers too easily. We do make it too easy sometimes for teams to do that. I know the whole stick is if we're not able to get that quick transition, we're going to cycle it. We're going to try to invite the teams out and try to open up that space by doing that, which is fine. But that works in some contexts and depending on the game state. If you're down by a goal, you're never going to get that back. If you're up by a goal, then you might have some luck there. But we'll see what happens. They have some injuries. Like someone said earlier in the chat, Nuno was a bit mum as to the specifics. Pablo was limping a little bit after their last match. The way Nuno kind of spoke about it, though, it almost makes me feel like there are some important players or two maybe missing for them. So we will see. Some people think that Matheus Fernandes could be out. I didn't notice anything personally. Some people were wondering why Bowen was taken off late on, so maybe there's an issue there. I don't know, but we'll see. He didn't give us anything. Hermansen took over for Areola recently and kept that clean sheet, so we'll see if he gets the second consecutive start. Todibo is suspended. He got a straight red for grabbing somebody by the throat in the last time. What an idiot. I don't know what he's doing. I'm so glad we did not sign Todibo after. I was super frustrated with the rules that we didn't get it, but now that we don't have him, I'm very happy because he hasn't looked great. He makes some bad mistakes again, so we'll see. We need to watch out for Somerville. I warned you guys about Somerville, man. He's scored in 5 straight matches now that the handbrake's been let off. Matheus Fernandes, obviously, you guys like him. He's going to be a handful. He's got 1 goal, 2 assists in his last 4 matches. He does have a knack for creating chances. He does have a knack for finding his attackers in space as well. And again, if Jerry Bowen's fit, he's always a threat. 2 goals, 1 assist in his last 3 matches. He is their top scorer as well. And West Ham do tend to attack down his side of the pitch most frequently. You can see that the most of their attacks come down their right-hand side, which is the side that Jared Bowen plays on. So we do need to be mindful of that. Whoever's playing left back is going to need to be aware of that. He's got pace, he's got power, he's very direct, and obviously he's a veteran, so he knows how to play the game, and we need to watch out for that. Let me get caught up in the chat, you guys. Make sure you like and please make sure you are subscribing. I want to get caught all the way back up if I can. Michael says, I remember going to watch United play West Ham in 1970. Big up, man. They had a great team then. I remember giving Bobby Moore some stick. Nice. Doing this the Lord's work you're doing here, man. IGN Welcome says, I'm watching from Ivory Coast. Well done, man. Well, I appreciate that. Please make sure that you are liking and subscribing if you like what you see. I love hearing what people are watching from, too, especially when you guys are joining in for the first time. I love building the community. You guys are legends. All of you, man. Rob says, Fernandes has been decent. Yeah, he's been very good. I liked him at Southampton a lot. Alcaraz was another one I liked, too, at South. I think he ended up, did he go to Everton? He might have gone on loan as well. Danny will remember. You guys, you remember Alcaraz? He was very, very good. Casper, we watched on TNT Sports. Big up, big up. Ofwa, welcome. Says, if Menu wins the next 5 games, I will take them seriously. Till then, 4 games can change with 1 loss. They can, and that could be a unique kind of test in itself, right? You're on a bit of a run, and maybe you hit a little bit of a bump, maybe like a draw or even a shock, like a 1-0 loss or something. Then it's all about how you respond to that, you know. It could be a blip. It could be a total shift in momentum. You never know. But 4 games is looking pretty good. But welcome. I like your thoughts. Big up. What we got here? Mr. Mel Gaza, what's up? Says United we're going undefeated for the rest of the season. You heard it here first. Well, clip it up, you guys. If we go undefeated for the rest of the season, Mr. Mel called it. Big up, Mr. Mel. Welcome. I just says we almost love United because you and me we can make them United name. I like it. I like the positivity, man. Big up. Rob says, I wonder how much that Strand guy has made from not. I mean, do you get money for that? I mean, he's maybe getting paid to go on like Sky or something. I don't know. I don't see any upside to that at all personally. Like, how is he getting anything from that? Because even like if he does, he's got like a YouTube channel, and you know how many hours and how many subscribers and everything you have to get just to get monetized. Like, and what's he going to talk about? His hair? Is he going to do tutorials? I don't know, but we all want him to get a haircut. I mean, I'm honestly tired of hearing about it. But Danny says we dodged a bullet with TD, but yeah, we did dodge a little bit of a bullet with him. Yeah, he did go to Flamengo. I saw that. He was probably just happy to get out of here, man. Danny's calling him out. 100 in the building. I do appreciate you guys hitting that like button for me as well. Bexy's back in the house. I think United will have plenty of opportunity to score. Just need to be clinical. Yeah, we're stepping up. Obviously, we've got like Shesko probably could have scored the other day. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I mean, had he known he had some time, he could have chested that down and put it away. But it is what it is. But I trust our clinical attack and everything as well. Quincy, welcome. United are winning the league. Take it or leave. Falling from Kenya. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. If we win the league, man, if we somehow go on a run and Arsenal stumble because they've got that in them, the Arsenal are only 6 points ahead of City. Don't forget, there was a season where Arsenal were first for 84% of the season and they still bottled it. It could happen. I'm not saying we could win the league could happen. I'm saying they could bottle it. But if we did somehow just go on a tear and just started clawing through everybody, just plowing, I'm gonna be like just absolutely worthless for the next couple weeks if that happens. Just don't even. I know you're not even gonna find me, man. You're not gonna find me at all. but a big up Quincy. So let's look at United here for a second because obviously that's what we're here for. We're all United fans. Interestingly enough, against Spurs, our defensive shape was almost sort of the worst that it's been under Michael Carrick. I mean, I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm just pointing out, comparatively speaking, we were just more open than I thought we have been the 3 matches prior against Spurs. Which is why our XG conceded was higher than it was against City, against Arsenal, against Fulham. So, like, typically we're setting up in this compact shape here, like we did against City, very strict 4-4-2. And even if you remember other parts of that match when City had the ball in our half, we were pretty compact. We were cutting off a lot of those lanes. We did it again against Arsenal. You can see what I'm talking about. Compact, cutting off the passing lanes, not letting Arsenal kind of find any balls centrally. And then if the ball did go wide, we did a very good job of kind of closing down that space. And under Michael Carrick, this has been kind of our average positions for these last 4 matches. You can see that very, very deep mid kind of thing. But again, you look at the Spurs match, which is all the way on the right, much, much higher. Now, a lot of that probably had to do with the fact that they went down to 10 men. They sat back a little bit. We pushed up. But again, it also meant that we were a little open. I thought we were a little too open than what I've seen recently from us. But again, average position is pretty much the same. It's been Spurs. We just opened up a little bit. But that's also why maybe our XG has increased slightly over the course of these matches. So again, against City, Michael Carrick's first match in charge as interim, lowest XG conceded, and then it has kind of slowly crept upwards. Now it's 0.55 against Spurs, and that's coming from the XG philosophy. Very good book behind me too, the XG philosophy. You guys should check that out sometime. But so it's getting a little more open. I don't know if that's just us being a little more comfortable, if it just kind of coincidence that we played a little bit more open teams and mid-block versus teams like Fulham and Spurs who sat back a little bit and we sort of played into their hands a little bit. It is what it is. Again, but if you don't want to look at the stats, just go and use the eye test and watch that Spurs match again, because we were the most open we've been under Michael Carrick in that match. Again, coincidence? Not really. Fulham and Spurs tend to want to sit deep, hit us on the break. City and Arsenal didn't. So it makes sense. Wave after wave of City and Arsenal attack broke against the rock of our mid-block. West Ham do play a very similar style. They are going to be in much better form than Fulham and Spurs. So we're going to need to be a little bit more disciplined in midfield and really be switched on in defense. I don't want us to concede. I don't like seeing us get carved open like we have been at times. It's really, really annoying to watch. What you guys got here? Quincy says United. Oh, you already saw that one. Social media ads on Insta. That's how this guy's getting money, huh? Interesting. Bexley thinks United can definitely get second. Not sure about shitty in City and Villa now. Sorry, Freudian slip when I said shitty. I mean, you can look at it mathematically and say yes, we can. It's just a matter on what City's going to show up on a given day. I never would have thought City were going to drop as many points as they have, but strange things happen. I still don't 100% think Arsenal are going to win the league. You guys know I always think Arsenal are going to bottle it, and they have. I'm just going on history alone. There's more history and evidence to suggest that they will than there is to suggest that they won't. So Michael says it's going to be a hell no matter who wins the league. Both sets of fans are insufferable. Yeah, it can't be Arsenal. It's going to be the worst thing ever if it's Arsenal, dude. Mel says we're going to bust Arsenal's pipe. I hope so, man. I hope so. I really do. Danny says Rayon scored last week. Told you, yeah. We scouted him several months ago. Danny, when he was at Vasco da Gama, we scouted him. Like I told you guys about him. He's a good player. Tabasi, welcome back. Carrick's got 2 clean sheets as well. Yeah, those clean sheets. I mean, keeping a clean sheet against City is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do enjoy that. And against Spurs too, it's always nice. I don't know what red arrows mean. Recently 900K down. Are you talking about fantasy again? I don't do fantasy sports. You guys know that. Bexy hopes Casemiro can hang on a bit for Tuesday. Casemiro, man, he's digging deep. He was another excellent performance against Spurs. Obviously, no goals and assists like he did against Fulham, but he was excellent. Tobias says, am I the only one who never felt sorry for that hair guy? I don't feel sorry for him. I just don't understand it personally. I just don't understand how, like, what his thought process was there. Like, there's no upside to it. Like, there's no win. Like, so cool, we go 5 in a row, you get to cut your hair, but then what? Like, it doesn't, I just don't get it. But hey, people are crazy, man. People are going to do stuff, though. Bexley says, I think Arsenal will win, though. It's been a funny season. Well, we'll see. We will see. I'm not holding out hope. Keely, welcome. Said you boys be back to Earth soon. Obviously, this is an Arsenal fan jumping in. We welcome any and all walks of life, even if they're wrong. That's fine. That's okay. We'll pray for you. How's that sound? But again, like, moving on to the tactical side of things, again, this is what we need to do, like I said, against West Ham. Like, we need to be a little bit more disciplined. We need a little bit more compact in midfield. We need to get back to what we saw initially. And I think that's what Carrick is kind of shifting towards. He solidified that mid-block to start his career here, but then he's started to transition more to his preferred style that he showed at Borough when he was at Middlesbrough, which is, again, similar to the Spanish style, shorter passing, dominant actions, establishing a whole team in the attacking half with a little bit more patience, a little more cadence. That's what we started to see against Spurs. I was saying in the group, the group chat and the WhatsApp, again, starting 11 and Legends members to get access to the WhatsApp group, because just because the stream ends doesn't mean the conversation has to. But I was saying in that the WhatsApp, like, we need to be a little bit more patient in the opposition half. And then when we were, it got a little better. But again, a lot of this is going to come down to Licha. I put up the passing map the other day. This is another way to look at the passing map. You can see Licha was the quarterback yesterday. We're moving high, but Licha, I know a lot of you in the past have said, like, he can play as a 6. He can play as a 6. He kind of does play as a 6 when we have the ball. He steps up, and you can see his average position is very, very high, but he steps up, and he's really the one in charge of distributing now that Bruno's been moved back to a 10. Licha steps up, whereas Bruno used to drop deep to get involved. Licha will step up. A lot of times, Cobby is dropping back as well to get involved as well, but you can see a lot of the passing is down to Licha. He is the guy who's making things tick now. He was our linchpin against Spurs. We're going to need our wingers to put in a shift off the ball as well, because, again, those wide players, Somerville, Bowen, they can cause you problems if you're not alert to that, and they will cause us problems. Obviously, preseason, Bowen did us in a very similar run. Simple run, just out wide, just beat us for pace. I think it was Aiden Heaven playing that match and just scored. Again, preseason, it is what it is, but he's got that in his locker. Our fullbacks need to be putting in a shift. Our wingers need to be putting in a shift. We can't leave a lot of space like Chelsea did against them recently. Cunha and Ahmad have both shown themselves capable of tracking back, though, and pitching in. Ahmad had a lot of responsibility in deeper role recently, a lot of tackles and stuff. Cunha, obviously, we know, has no problems getting stuck in, wanting to win the ball as well. There are times when I do want him to do a little bit more, but he can do it. But they'll need to put it in a shift either way. They won't have an excuse. Enzo Fernandez, like I said, was in Thomas Suchek's pocket until he dropped a little deeper, which would have forced Suchek to kind of step out of his zone a little bit. And so that was a big shift. So we need to keep an eye out for that as well, because Suchek didn't want to venture forward. So Bruno may need to look at doing that if he's getting mobbed, if he's getting man marked out of the game by Suchek. Bruno may need to just change his position up a little bit to kind of either force Suchek to take himself out of the game by not tracking him, or forcing Suchek to get out of his comfort zone, which will leave space if he does that. Having Leach as that playmaker, though, that's going to be a big help, because that's something that Chelsea didn't have. So there is space to be found in the final third. Again, this is where Chelsea really did that. You can see they do sit back a little deep. They do want to press that ball. But again, if you exploit that space with movement and good passing, something that Carrick really, really values, we can punish them. I think we can. Move the ball wisely, hustle if you want to exploit that space. Again, this Caicedo's run here to receive the ball, it causes Thomas Suchek to step out, and João Pedro runs into that space as well to act as a bit of a decoy as well. And they both leave room for Enzo Fernandez came in, who eventually went on to score that late winner. And that's exactly how that run of play went down. So there is space to exploit. And I think that we need to just be smart about it, make sure we're moving the ball quickly, and just because if we hold on to it too long, we're going to get pushed off it, and we could very easily give up a transition. Let's get caught up here in the chat, you guys. Please make sure you like and for me. Please make sure you subscribe. Michael says, I had a haircut yesterday. Now I'm walking around looking like Arne Slot. My son is disowning me. You can say you look like Ten Hag or Yap Stam. Just call it the Yap Stam, and you're fine. Rob Sadorgu has been fantastic under Carrick. Yeah, it is a big shame. It's a big blow, man. It's a big, big blow for us. Yeah, he was absolutely on fire for us, man. I told you guys, a lot of people wrote him off too soon, and I'm like, just give him some time. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Tobias says, didn't realize West Ham and Spurs are close to being relegated. Oh, yeah, they're definitely close to being relegated. Stephanie's in the house. Big up, Stephanie. Yes, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. Rob says, it would be amazing to get Tonali in the summer. Best midfielder around. Crap for he's very good. I'm still probably opting for Anderson. You guys, I like Anderson a lot. You guys are funny. Stephanie, let him know. Call him out. Only 100 watching, only 17 likes. I can't give away any more memberships because YouTube only lets me give away 10, and we did that the other day because you legends got us up to like a crap ton. But likes are appreciated, please. It does help the channel. It does help the community grow. It does help the algorithm grab hold of the channel and get more and more people in here like you guys. So let's talk about team news for a second, because De Ligt still not fully fit, unfortunately. Mount could be back in training. Doesn't sound like he's ready, though, to make the bench. Obviously, Dorgu's still out as well. Mount could be back for Everton, but we'll see. What would you do for this one? I want to know your starting 11s. Would you change this up, or would you just keep going? Let it ride. Let it just keep rolling with the same subs, the same starting 11. Everybody seems to be doing fine. We're only playing once a week. It's not that big a deal. Do you think there anybody in particular who's starting who could struggle against guys like Bowen or maybe Somerville? I know Dallow's got the physicality, but does he have the positional sense? We've seen Dallow get done a couple times now by pace, that he's on the wings and the opposition. We saw him get done by Rodgers, obviously Kevin recently as well. He did not follow his runner as well. Dallow can switch off in those moments, which you cannot do against these pacey wingers, because it's not like Maguire's getting over to cover the space at all. So would you maybe feel more comfortable with Mazraoui? Do you trust Shaw on the left-hand side against Bowen? Maybe you want Mazraoui on the left. Mazraoui came on, went to the left recently as well. So how would you guys line up for this one? Danny's going with the same lineup. No worries there. Yeah, and again, let it ride if it ain't broke, right? But again, I do think the fullbacks are the important key here. They're going to need to be switched on. And I think guys like Cunha and Ahmad are going to need to make sure that off the ball that they're minding those players. They're minding those attackers. Tyler Fletcher did travel. I've seen reports that Lenny Yoro did not travel. So we'll see if those get amended later on. But so far, Tyler Fletcher back in the traveling squad. Lenny Yoro reportedly did not hop the train. So we'll see. Are people not being nice in the chat? You guys just be cool. Like, it's usually pretty cool. I usually don't have to worry about anybody. If you guys are being disrespectful, if you guys are spamming stuff, maybe don't. So Cash says, who is Leacha? Just asking people about taking about. What are we talking about, dude? Rob shared the stream. Big up, Rob. Appreciate that. Legend, man. What do you guys want for starting 11? Danny says maybe Mass for Shaw or Dallow. Yeah, Dallow has so many things. Like his cross, his cross for Bruno's goal was perfect, right? But that's like you can count on one hand how many times he's put balls like that in the box in the 8 years that he's been here. That's one of my biggest issue with Dow. The other issue is the issue that we've seen recently is just there are times when he doesn't know who to pick up. Maybe that's a communication issue. Maybe that's a footballing IQ issue with him. But it was a big deal. It was a big contributing factor to why Kevin had so much space on the ball as well. Like he switches off a little bit sometimes. We know that he doesn't put enough pressure on the ball. We know that he doesn't do that. We've seen that many, many times. Wes says I've got the same lineup we have against Spurs. Everybody's just letting it ride. I got no problem with that. Big up, Darko. Welcome back, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, everyone's just letting it ride. Bexy says same lineup. Michael says same lineup works. I mean, yeah, if it ain't broke, right? Darko wants to know if Heaven will sit on the bench. I mean, would you bench Maguire because he's playing very, very well right now? Maybe it's one of those if it ain't broke kind of things. Heaven's young. He will get minutes. He will come in. Maybe if we go up by a little bit again, I want to know your scores here in a second, your score predictions, because I've got mine and I'm going big. If we go up a couple goals, we've got 10, 15 minutes left. I can see Heaven coming on and getting some minutes. If it's a shame we're not in the FA Cup. It's a shame we're no longer in and around the Carabao Cup, obviously. Shame we're not in Europe because you probably see a lot more rotation, but it is what it is. Bexy says Dallo has been good. Yeah, his numbers are good, but again, like it's just those moments that he has that cost us. Again, him getting caught between two players is what led to Kevin having all that space against Fulham. And like it's those moments that are costly. Like I've said it before, even pebbles make big ripples, and that little millisecond is what proves costly because all it takes is just a little bit of attention, a little hesitation, a little shift of your weight to move inward, and the winger is off. He's off to the races. He's already gotten you beat, and we can't have that. He's got to be switched on a little bit more. I'd still sell him. I do still think we need to upgrade, but it's not my top priority this summer, especially with the finances are the way they are. But yeah, I do agree he is better at right back than he is at right wing back for sure. And he does still have those moments where like he kind of left Maguire out to dry a couple recently. Maguire had the ball a little bit under pressure, and he needed some help, and he's on the ball, and Dallo just starts making a run, tries towards goal when that would have required a crazy like 60-yard pass when all you need to do was drop deep a little bit and just give Maguire an outlet to keep the ball on the ground and take care of the ball. Like that's what I mean. Dallo gets a little, he sees red sometimes and he wants to just go. You need to just chill, man. Like game management is a big thing that Dallo needs to work on as well. Yeah, if it ain't broke, what you gonna do, man? Bexy's going 3-1 United. Well, conveniently, that is my prediction. So most of you guys are keeping the same lineup. I don't have a problem with that. I'm going 3-1 United. I just think it's a matter of we have the quality to do it. I think that the quality is going to shine through. I think we've just got guys like Mbumo, Cunha, Bruno, Ahmad. I think that we're just too good. Licha, Kabi, the way Casemiro's been playing, I think it's just honestly too good. I do think that a couple of counterattacks could probably leave us a little bit shaky. We'll probably concede a cheap goal as a result as well. We did see the similar thing against Spurs, but I trust Carrick. I trust the coaching staff. I do think they will have made a point of looking at the goals we've conceded, the manner we've conceded, the steady increase in the XG conceded that we've seen recently, our highest being against Spurs, how open we've been. I think they'll work on that. They'll address that a little bit. We cannot give them a lot of space to work with. The key here is going to be not taking this match as a foregone conclusion just because it's West Ham. Like, we can't be complacent. We can't be sloppy. We can't be slow. They're just 3 points behind Forest. This is a cup final for them, honestly, for all intents and purposes, right? And they are going to play like it. They're at home. This is a tough ground for us. They're going to be up for it. We need to go in with our control and our dominance and our quality exerted from minute one, literally from the opening whistle, literally from the moment we step off the train. We need to have that mindset because they can punish you. It can be those little moments that get you. That's how teams get you who play counterattacking football. We need to go in, go hard, force them out of their comfort zone by scoring an early goal real quick, and then the game will kind of change all over again. If you switch off, you get complacent, you concede a cheap early goal, and it could be Everton all over again. They could just make it impossible for us to break down, and then that's a situation we don't want to be in. They do concede late goals, so if things do get dicey, we could be looking at another Fergie time situation. You never know. Let me get caught up, you guys. Let me know your score predictions. I'm going 3-1. Bexy agrees 3-1. Michael says Dallo just realized there's a World Cup in the summer. Dallo, I mean, is anyone kind of ousting him for that? I mean, they've got some good players in there. João Mario, Alberto Costa. There's some good Portuguese fullbacks out there. Thiago Silva, I think, is he still at Lille? Rob says, I want to see Euro in heaven. To be honest, is the future. Well, they'll get their chances as well. They are young, so I'm not too worried about it. Joshua's going United win clean sheet. Big up, Joshua. I like that one. Darko says, we need all the creative and technical players against West Ham. Maguire can't. Maguire can pass. He's not like techie, but you give him time on the ball, he can pass. He can't dribble. Do you not remember the Europa League last year? He can absolutely run. He can do all of that. He can literally do all the things you just said he can't do. Stephanie says, I hope United can get another 3 goals. If we do, we grab 3 points. Yeah, 3 points and we're third, man. I love it. The bias is going 5-0 United. Big up. I like it. Let's see. Bias says, worst case scenario, West Ham. I mean, worst case scenario, obviously, we drop points. I don't want that to happen, obviously, but Rob says, West Ham need wins. Won't sit back. Open game. So we should smash them. Hopefully, Brian plays. Yeah, them being at home could almost play into our hands because, again, as a home side, the onus is almost on you to be the ones to go off on the front foot. We just can't let them do that. We need to just go in. And we don't want to leave too much space in behind, but we need to just, again, be clinical with the goal, dominate against some of the passing we've seen against Arsenal, against City, against Spurs. Let's dominate that. Let's move that ball. I want us to impose our will and not go there and play their game. Let's see. Stephanie says we need Maguire's physicality against Suchek. Yeah, let's look out for some of those long balls. But again, it's the wide players that we got to look out for. Fernandes is now offering a different threat because he can thread those balls through the half spaces. So we'll just need to be switched on, cut out those passes, and we'll see. I think that could put us in the best position. But get involved in the poll. What are you guys thinking so far? 76 votes. So far, 75% of you think that it's time to get the Clippers out because we're going to win 5 in a row. 12% are going with a draw. 13% think it's going to be West Ham getting the win, which is the wrong answer, by the way. But let's see. Beck says United will have too much for West Ham. Lamon's had a clean sheet. United just need to be professional. Yeah, go in there and just play. Don't play like it's West Ham. Play like it's City. Play like it's Arsenal, basically. Casper, it's a shame we have FA Cup and international break coming up to kill them, man. We always get the momentum killed with the international break, man. It always freaking happens every single time. We're going a good run and then international break. It's not for a little while, though, so we got a couple weeks, but we can get a nice little cushion above the Scousers, maybe even a little cushion above Chelsea, maybe even a good little third place thing. We'll be all right. I'd love to be in third for the next almost 2 weeks. That'd be great. Steph says, I fancy a late brace from Shesko. Yeah, he could have had himself another goal. It'll be all right. He's young. He'll get there. Keep getting your score predictions in. The Scousers lost in hilarious fashion to a late Man City goal. They almost lost another one, but that whole situation was weird. It does give us a nice little 5-point cushion though over Liverpool. Again, you're not going to think I'm going to go the whole stream without laughing at Liverpool. I'm not going to lie. Like hearing Anfield go from songs to silence is something I could listen to on repeat. Like give me my beats. I'll listen to that all day. It was kind of like when Justin and I were at that game against Southampton 2 years ago where Ahmad came back with a late hat trick. We were about 30 feet from all the traveling Southampton fans, and it was nothing but chants and songs. And then we equalized, and it got a little quieter. And then he got another one, and then it got super quiet. And then it got third one, and not only did it get quiet, like you couldn't hear a peep at all. I love that stuff. And watching it happen at Anfield yesterday was hilarious. Watching Jobazlai go from hero to villain, inject that into my veins. It was a bit of a weird call. I don't know if you guys watched it. What did you think about that late call? Was that VAR kind of maybe getting a little too involved? Do you think like it didn't need to do anything? Like it's just a couple of bit of shirt pulling. Was it really necessary? I guess if you're going to call it by the letter of the law, yeah. But this is my thing, and Wayne Rooney has said it, and I've said it so many times. There needs to be a point where common sense gets injected into these big refereeing decisions, like common sense. Like you can interject a little bit of that human factor into it and say, all right, like, come on, like it's not that bad, but still I would take Jobazlai United still. I think he's excellent. If Bruno leaves, he's exactly the kind of replacement, but that's another story for another day. Chelsea still creeping behind us. We win this, we go third though, above Villa on goal differential for like 24 hours at least. But again, 11 days between games, you never know. And we'll have shifted from hovering around fourth to hovering around third. We're slowly kind of creeping up. We're way above where any of us thought we would be this season, if we're being honest. But I'm telling you now, though, looking at Arsenal and City's upcoming run of fixtures, again, do not rule out another bottle job for the Gunners. They've got some tough matches coming up. As far as Michael Carrick is concerned, he's passed the test against two of the top teams in the league. He's reversed the Spurs bogey status. What about a scrappy fight against a desperate West Ham. That's another test for him. Bit of a bogey side as well. Beat these handedly tomorrow. And what tests are left for Michael Carrick? Would any of you change your tune? Let me get involved in the chat, you guys. Make sure you still get your score predictions and let me know about this test we've got going on here. Bexy says Bruno's on fire. He links up so much positive. Yeah, he's on track to break the record for most assists in the league in a season, man. Michael says we need to start fast and direct. It will terrify. Yeah, we need to. And plus, Tadebo's gone, so it's going to be probably Mavropanos, and I think they've got Disassi. Is that who they got? Disaster. Basically, let's hope it's a disaster tomorrow. Bexy says Shesko finds so much space at the minute. He could be a top striker. He could be. Again, just in that moment, if he had gotten a shout, if he had had a little quick glance, he would have seen that he had literally nothing but time and space. He could have just taken that down and just passed it into the bottom corner, and it would have been just fine. But he'll learn from. I used Bruno's reaction was hilarious because Bruno's reaction in that moment was all of us yesterday. Stephanie says Scouts is losing 3 or 2-1 and getting players sent off. Yeah, that was excellent. I had absolutely love it. Michael says my cousin is a Liverpool fan. He won't answer my calls. See, some of the Liverpool fans will go into hiding. Like, I feel like the other half of that fan base is just they're kind of where we were. A lot of us over the years are just they're more angry at Arne Slot than anything, and they're just happy to yell about it. So, Casper didn't watch Super Bowl. Not really my thing. Yeah, it wasn't really a good game. Honestly, it really was a bad game. Beck says I don't think Liverpool will be consistent and go on in a run anymore this season. We'll see. I think their biggest mistake was getting Verts, getting Isak, and if you really want to deep it, maybe giving Salah and Van Dijk those big contracts. So they didn't need to spend money on Verts and Isak. And Ekitike, I hold my hands up. Ekitike is doing a lot better than I thought he would. I thought that maybe a kid with one half decent season in European football, I didn't think he was going to come in and do as well as he is. But he's doing very, very well. I'm a little jealous, but yeah, they really needed to get a defender. Probably needed to get. I mean, they should have played Frimpong as the right wing and bought another right back because Frimpong's not a right back. Frimpong is a wing back, and really, he is more of a winger. If his best season at Leverkusen, you look at his heat map, you look at his like the dribbles into the box and everything. The guy is a winger. He is Mo Salah, basically, a faster version. Tobias says Liverpool losing gave us a breather. Now all Chelsea has to do is lose to Sunderland, and Chelsea could lose to Sunderland. I don't know if how long Xhaka's going to be out. He was a big miss against Arsenal. They got destroyed, but let's see. Rob says 3-1 to United. Yeah, that was my prediction as well. Bexy thinks we're going to score early. Stephanie says 4-2 United. I lost the best with my Pats. Yeah, they're my team too, man. Rob says, I always said having a proper number 2 is crucial. Steve Holland is that man. And that's the thing too, and I said it the other day that this is how you can tell if you want to zoom out the lens a little bit that Carrick he's growing and he's learning because at Middlesbrough, he had his brother as his assistant, another young guy, little experience. He's maybe learned, hey, I need maybe to switch things up a little. So he brought in this guy, Steve Holland. He's been around the block, been there, done it all. That's been a big help. Johnny Evans was responsible for that set piece routine that we scored from against Spurs. Apparently, that was all Evans and the coaching staff. So big up there. So you never know. We could be putting together quite a team of Avengers here. Tabasi says he's voting to get Ekitike since June last year. Yeah, he's doing much better than I thought. Again, could be a system thing or whatever. Who never knows? You can never just say, just swap a player to another club. They're going to do exactly the same. A lot of different factors involved. But again, I hold my hands up. He's doing a lot better than I thought he would. So yeah, they got Jeremy Jacket. They definitely overpaid for Jeremy Jacket. Let's be honest with you. They definitely overpaid for him. So he definitely wasn't as good in the French league as Lenny Euro was when he was at Lille, but it is what it is. Yeah, Holland has proven his quality. Again, if you guys want to go see a really good insight into Steve Holland, there's an episode of The Coach's Voice on YouTube after Chelsea beat Barcelona when Holland was working under Antonio Conte. It's a really good video. Again, you always do a little research when we hire somebody new, whether it's this Armstrong guy, whether it's Steve Holland, whether it's set piece guys. Just go and look them up a little bit, see what they're all about. You learn a lot. Castro says, I'm saying West Ham 0, United 1. So you think it's going to be pretty close, pretty scrappy? If we get an early goal, this could turn into a blowout, but you never know. Again, Michael Carrick has passed a lot of tests so far. If he beats these, and what tests really are there left for him to face other than maybe trying his hand at a big European club like Bayern or PSG or Real Madrid or something? I mean, that would be the only test left, right? He's shown that he could do it against big sides, scrappy sides, counterattacking sides. If you can do it against the West Ham side, who are literally just backed into a corner and just striking anything that moves right now, then does he pass the test for a lot of you? I want to know your thoughts, you guys. Michael says, I think Holland was behind a lot of the Chelsea success. Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that. He has some really good insights. So go check out that video if you guys haven't yet as well. But that is gonna wrap it up for me, you guys. A really good preview. Like seeing a lot of new faces, like seeing everybody get involved. Before you dip out, please, please, please listen to the spiel. Hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button for me. That would be a big help. If you have some time, go hype a couple of the older streams on your phone. Check out the memberships as well. It is the best way to get involved in the content. There is different levels of membership for different things. It's more than just badges and emojis. Starting 11 and Legends members can make suggestions for when I do scouting report videos or episodes of What If. Legends members can actually join in virtually to have their say when Dylan and I do the kickabout every week. So keep that in mind as well. Go check it out. If you don't want to contribute to the memberships in that way, no problem. There's other options. There is the Unitedverse Everybody store. You did just miss a 25% off sale, but the link is in the description. Go check out the Unitedverse Everybody online store. Tons of one-of-a-kind gear, like you see me rocking my Unitedverse Everybody green and gold shirt, mugs, hats, hoodies, women's stuff, baby stuff. Go check it out. Tons of stuff in there. I'll wrap it up with a couple more chats real quick. Rob says, Steve is meant to be a bit of a ball buster and gets the respect. Yeah, we needed some of that, didn't we? Big up. You too, Casper. Have a good show, or have a good night, man. Appreciate that. Michael says, thanks for the show. Really enjoyed it. Night, everyone. I appreciate you guys. You guys make this channel. This is your channel. Like I said, it's your show. I just kind of throw out the topics and get the conversation started. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Probably not going to do an immediate match reaction tomorrow if I do end up going and hanging out with Dylan and watching this, because just not enough time. But look out for Wednesday. Dylan and I will probably talk about this a lot on Wednesday. So until then, you guys, enjoy your night. Hopefully we'll be back talking about 3 points. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.